Hello students, this is Supriya Mogle, Assistant Professor at Center for Distance Education, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. I am here to discuss about MCQs for case studies in HRM. As you know, the exams are conducted online and there are multiple choice questions for online examination, and now students are in confusion that what type of multiple choice question can be asked for case studies in HRM. So I am here to discuss about the patterns of MCQs they may ask in case studies in HRM. So we'll see one by one. Before starting that, I have to introduce the concept of case. What is case? So case is a story which describes an actual management situation. Okay, it is a story, and means case study is one type of learning from which we can apply our theoretical knowledge to get the solution. And in short, it is an investigation of a particular business problem inside the company or in the current market condition. So it is a short story which describes the actual management situations, and as a management student, what suggestion you will give, or how you will solve this problem, that is to be included in the case study. Then what does a case include? Okay, it may have different formats for the case. Means formal written case, just like an essay or story, or it may have some newspaper articles, news story, maths problem, word problems, or movie clips, etc. But formally it is a written case, and you have to find the statement of problem, what exact problem it has, and you have to give some suggestions to solve that problem. Then types of cases. So there are various types of cases based on there are bases for which they are classified. So first type is based on longevity, means length of the case. So it may have long cases, or medium case studies, or short case studies. Or the second type is based on the nature. Okay, maybe narrative or decision. Narrative means present existing data, and you can use the present existing data and records, and then you can solve that case. Or decision case, that decision based case study, that means you can say it is a problem based, means student have to find out the problem from the case, and then you have to solve it, you have to give the solution for that problem. Or third type is based on management descriptive. Means as you know, there are various specializations for management like human resource, finance, marketing, production, etc. And on the basis of that management descriptive, the case studies are related to each concept. Means case studies in HRM, case studies related with production, case studies on marketing, management, etc. So that is called based on management descriptives. Then what are the advantages of case method? So how it is important, what are the advantages? The first is it is actually more interesting learning method. It develops your skills. Student just do not read the concept, they actually apply it. Their theoretical knowledge is applied to solve the case, and it develops your skill and knowledge. And here you are going to use your knowledge so that your interpersonal skills or your analytical skills leads to develop in you. So these are some advantages, and it is a very good method of learning. So we'll see what are the steps in case analysis. So first is read the case carefully. You have to read 2 to 3 times. Now I am here. I am explaining the steps of formal written case. If there is a formal descriptive, you have to write descriptive solution, then these are some steps. But in MCQs there are different types of questions, so I'll explain next slide. But here when you have one case, you have to read that case, write a summary, then you have to find out the statement of problem. If there are some facts, figures, then you have to note it down. Then assumptions, you have to write 4 to 5. Maybe assumptions means why it is happened, why this problem is happened, what can be the reasons. Then consequences means after this problem happens, what are the consequences, what will happen after it. And then you are going to have, as a management student, your point of view, you can have some solutions, you can have some alternate solutions. Then from that alternate solutions you are going to give a best solution and then conclusion. And if there are some questions below your case studies, you have to answer those questions also. So these all steps should be included while writing the case study, while writing the solution, or while analyzing the case study. So it is very much important to note down these steps and include. There is no thumb rule that all these steps should be included in the case. You can add some more steps as per your knowledge. It is your thought, it is your thinking that how you present your case study, how you give the best solution to the case study, it is very important. So this is about the introduction about case study. Now we are going to see some sample MCQs for case studies in HRM. So first of all, they may ask some theoretical questions, means how to solve the case study. On the basis of that, what is case study, what are the types of case studies or advantages of case studies, or how to solve, what are the steps. On the basis of that, they may ask some questions which is theoretical questions. So first is, while solving a case study we should find. So what we have to find while solving a case study: statement of problem, assumptions, alternate solutions, and all of the above. So obviously we have to find out the statement of problem, we have to give some assumptions, alternate solutions, and then we are going to have the best solution. So the right answer is all of the above. The next question is, case studies often deliberately focus on unusual dash or outlying cases which may shed new light on the research problem. So actually the case studies are really very important when there are some issues and the problems are not solved. Then these case studies are focused. No, now there are some concepts that are related with the case studies, means there are some unusual cases or unusual problems, outlying problems. Positive, there are, you can see the options. Positive case studies means there is no logic, if it is positive case, then there is no problem maybe. Okay, or serious, if it is very much serious, then it is not unusual. Okay, so here some words should be interrelated with these words also. So the right answer is neglected. Some problems are in the organization which are neglected from the organization, neglected by the workers, and then some consequences happens, and then we get to know that uh, uh, it should have some suggestions, it should have some solution. So the case studies often deliberately focus on unusual, neglected or outlying cases which may shed new light on the research problem. Next question is, case study method seeks the active participation of the participants in reaching a. Now, when we solve the case study, participants have the actual participation in solving the case study. Why we participate to solve the case study? Why we solve the case study? To have the problem? No. To have the findings? No. To have the good management? No. So the right answer is, why we solve the case study? To have a solution. So the right answer is solution. Next is, a case study analysis can be broken down into the following steps. In this, which one would be the first step? Okay. So while solving the case study, what is the first step? Finding a problem, having alternate solutions, writing assumptions, or writing summary. So the right answer is writing summary. You have to read the summary, and first of all you have to write summary, which should be 1/3 of full case. The next question is, a case study refers to the dash of a particular business problem inside a company or in a current market situations. So what it has said, a case study refers to what, where we are going to have some situations in current market and some particular business problem inside the company. So it is nothing but an investigation. Obviously we are going to investigate, we are going to find out the problem, we are going to find out some assumptions why it may happen, why, what are the reasons behind it, and then we write down what are the consequences after this problem, then what are some alternate solutions, and then best solutions. So this is one type of investigation. So the right answer is investigation. Now, we have seen some theoretical background questions related with the case studies they may ask. Now, in the MCQs pattern, they may ask some 2 to 3 line case studies, that is short cases, short problems in the organization, and they will give four options. You have to select one alternate. So the case I will read: Rahul is an HR in manufacturing company. Senior supervisor of marketing department gives a resignation letter due to ill health. Now Rahul has to recruit a new person within 4 days. He does not have much time and does not want to spend more money on recruitment process. So which source of recruitment is better as per your opinion? So it is very simple case. A senior supervisor is resigning due to his ill health, and now Rahul, who is HR, he has to place a new person within 4 days. He don't have time, he doesn't have time, he doesn't have any more money to spend on recruitment process. So what source you can use which can have less time and less money? So first of all, to solve this problem, to solve this case, you should know the sources of recruitment. So the options are walk-in interview. So walk-in interview needs some time and more money. Website advertisement, newspaper advertisement, or promotion. So as you can see, walk-in interview, website advertisement, and newspaper advertisement are the external sources of recruitment, and promotion is internal sources of recruitment. The person who is already working in the organization, if he is capable of working the working for the higher authority, or he can have the additional charges, then you can give the promotion. That is internal source of recruitment. You don't have to waste your time, you don't have to spend more money for recruitment process. Then you can get this source which is better. Okay, so the right answer is promotion. The next is Mr. Sahil is an senior employee in ABC Private Limited. 100 workers are working under his supervision. He is responsible for preparing the work shifts and assigning the work. Today he got to know there is a shortage of raw material due to pandemic situation, and he does not have to work to assign to the workers. Suppliers told that it will take at least 15 days. Now what steps he should take now, as he wants to retain the workers? Now the case is really very simple, very short, 2 to 3 line case is there. And what is said, due to pandemic situation there is shortage of raw material and employer is not able to give the work to the workers. Now what he has to do, what step he should take, because he does not want to leave his workers, he wants to retain the workers. So the option is strike. No, strikes can be done by the workers, lockout, retrenchment, and layoff. Lockout means what? Lockout means if there are some demands from the management or some employers, then they intentionally do not give the work to the workers because they want their support, or they want their demands to be completed. Retrenchment means permanent, remove of, you are reducing the workforce permanently. And layoff means you can have the temporary separation of the employee. You are terminating the employee temporarily. So you can have layoff. That Mr. Sahil, as a senior employee, he can have layoff for the workers for at least, now there are some days they have mentioned in HRM. We have studied Industrial Dispute Act, or there are concepts mentioned that you cannot give layoff for more than 45 days. So here supplier told that he will get the raw material within 15 days, or at least after 15 days he will get the raw material, and employer can assign the work to the workers within 15 days. So for the 15 days he can have layoff to the worker. So this will be the best option to do. Next question is, Mr. Nayan has recently joined his family business as an CEO of the company. He has done his post graduation at abroad. He wanted to expand the business and minimize the cost of operations. He discussed with Ms. Naina, who has been working as an HR since last 6 years. Mr. Nayan told her to have downsizing of workers so that we can minimize the cost. Miss Naina was not agreed to this decision. As per your opinion, what is most suitable? So first we'll read the options. Miss Naina is worried about the employees because she is HR. Mr. Nayan's decision is right, as they can save money of the worker's salary and can use the money for other expansion. Third is, workers are assets of the company. Company spend time, cost and efforts on their training for the improvement, and this is the investment, and downsizing could not be the option just for minimizing the cost, and new employees can be recruited. So what it has said, he wants to expand his business and he wants to minimize the cost of operation. So for minimizing the cost, for saving some cost, he wants to downsizing means what? He wants to remove some uh, employees, remove some workers, but Naina is not agree. So what will be the right answer? Obviously workers are assets of the company. We spend some time, spend some cost, and we have investment in terms of employees, and downsizing cannot be the option for just minimizing the cost. So right option is C. Next is Neelam and Ritesh are friends and joined the same company on the same day. Neelam was appointed as an employee counselor and Ritesh was appointed as a senior accountant in finance department. Ritesh has a more responsibilities as compared to Neelam. He was working really good. After some days, Ritesh realized that all the employees quickly recognize Neelam and they are close to her. No one recognizes him in the lobby. When Neelam and Ritesh are together, all colleagues wishes them like good morning etc. But when he is alone, nobody recognizes him even though he is a good performer. So what do you think? What is the reason behind it? So there are two employees, there are two friends, one is employee counselor, one is senior accountant. Ritesh works very good, but nobody knows him. But Neelam is just an employee counselor, and everyone recognizes her. So he is disappointed. Even after working good, even after having a good performer, he is he is avoided by the colleagues. So what can be the reason behind it? So the options are: there must be biasness by the colleagues. Ritesh may be arrogant. He does not approach to the colleagues until they approach to him. Nilam is an employee counselor. Her only work is to communicate with the employees daily, and hence her relations are good to others. All the employees are jealous to Ritesh. So the right answer is obviously Neelam. Is her job is to counsel the employees. Her job is to communicate with the employees, and that's why all other colleagues, all other workers or employees quickly recognize her. Because and the Ritesh is a senior accountant. He in the finance department, he sits in the department, he works in the department. He does not approach, or he does not get that much chance to approach to the colleagues and they may recognize him. So the right answer is Neelam is employee counselor and his work is to communicate with the employees daily, and this is the main reason behind it. The next is Namrata and Sangeeta are from the same batch of same school, now colleagues in the same company. They have joined on the same day and their job profile are also same. Now it's been 1 year for their employment. Sangeeta got the promotion as a senior consultant. Which method is used for the promotion? So two friends are there. One is a maybe good performer and she got promotion as a senior consultant. Both have completed 1 year, but one has got the promotion and other did not get it. And which method is used for the promotion? Now first of all you should know what is promotion and what are the basis of promotion, how it is decided to whom we are going to give the whom we are giving the promotion. So first is merit based, seniority based, merit plus seniority based, and none of the above. So merit based means the performance is good, then you will get the promotion. Seniority means your length of your service, how many years you have done. But here seniority is not included, because they have joined on the same date, they have completed 1 year. Merit plus seniority, no, actually seniority is cancelled, so B and C will be cancelled. So the right answer will be merit based promotion. Next is Sham is a worker at XYZ Steel Private Limited. He works with heavy machinery. During the shift, he went to another machine and talking to other worker. At that time, he had an accident at that point due to breakage of machinery and he lost his right thumb. Now, who is liable to pay the compensation? Now, in HR, we have studied Workman Compensation Act 1923. You should know what are the liability of the compensation, or who is liable to pay the compensation. What are the clauses are there? So, in the Workman Compensation Act, if a person is working in the organization and in his shift, he had or he you know if there is any accident occurs, then employer has to give the compensation, or but there are some exceptions. Okay, so first of all we will see the options: an employer, XYZ Steel Private Limited, the other worker, and no one is liable to pay. So as per the Workman Compensation Act, employer has to give the compensation, or the company has to give the compensation. But there are some exceptions. As I said, there are three exceptions. First is, you should work at your place. If you are talking to other worker and you went to other machineries and there you you, because of the breakage of machinery, you had an accident at that point, then employer is not liable to pay the compensation. Or suppose there are some safety gadgets provided by the company and you, as per your own risk, you have removed uh, those safety gadgets and then accident occurs, then also liable, employer is not liable to pay the compensation. The third exception is, if the worker is drunk or he has taken some drugs and because of that there is an accident, then employer or company is not liable to pay the compensation. Now what is the right answer here? Who is liable to pay the compensation? The answer is D. No one is liable to pay the compensation, because as per the exceptions of the act, he was not working mm, on his machinery. He went to another machinery talking to his friend, and at that point the accident occurred. That's why no one is liable to pay. Next is Sachin applied for the post of senior accountant at ABC Company. Miss Saroj is an HR executive and working on the recruitment process. She arranged a preliminary interview. During the interview, Sachin said he left his previous job but didn't mention any specific reason behind it, and he just avoided the question by saying due to personal reasons. But Sachin is qualified, experienced as per the requirement. Saroj wants to take a decision whether to shortlist him or not. What you will suggest the Saroj? Now this is related with the recruitment process. Okay, so in the recruitment and selection process, we take preliminary interview, and there are some steps like we have to perform all the steps as per the requirement of the organization. Sachin is qualified, he has experience, but why he has not why he has left the previous job, he has not mentioned it clearly. So what will you do? So Saroj should select the candidate because he is qualified and experienced. Saroj should conduct physical examination. She should go for checking the references, and Saroj should reject the candidate. So what will you do? What will you suggest, Saroj? If you say that he is qualified and experienced and you can select, so there is some, they may have some problems. Maybe there were some problems in the previous organization, so you have to check that. So the right answer is you have to check the references, why he has left the job, what was the problem. If his behavior is not good, so you can reject him. So first of all you should check the references. So this will be the best option from these four. Next is, due to COVID-19 pandemic, employees feel uncomfortable and stressed to work in the organization. For the business continuity, it is necessary to complete the work, so HR has provided the facility of work from home. HR has provided all the relevant infrastructural facilities to the employees, but there are many unethical issues while working from home. Which of the following can be the good option to tackle this situation? So there are some ethical issues in working from home. They may avoid some work, they may give some reasons for not completing the work. So as you have provided all the facilities, all the infrastructure facilities, what is your work as an HR? What can be the good option to tackle this situation? No restrictions of work, as they can work as per their convenience, but the strict supervision by the superiors, everyday reporting of the work done and performance appraisal, motivate the employees by offering medical facilities, and all of the above. Obviously all of the above is the right answer, because if the employees are working from home, it should have some strict supervision, and you can you have to motivate them so that they can work efficiently and effectively. So there is, you can have no restrictions of work time. They can work as per their work, as per their convenience, maybe in the night, maybe in the day. If in the day they want to work, and there are some, kids in the house, then they cannot concentrate on their work. So you can have the, you don't have to have the time, uh, time restrictions, or you can have the everyday reporting, performance appraisal, and you have to motivate the employees by offering medical facilities, like for COVID-19 claims are there, so etc. facilities are provided nowadays. So this type of questions they may ask. The next question is, Ram is a skilled worker. He has a good knowledge of machineries. His performance was above the standard every time. Supervisor was very happy with his work, but since last some days his behavior is changed. His performance shows low as compared to others, and absenteeism was high. So as an HR, which of the following step cannot be done directly? Cannot be. Okay, you have to read it carefully. Cannot be done directly. So directly communicate with him, try to find out the reason behind him, motivate him, complain to the department head. So which step should not taken? We have to communicate with him what is the reason why his performance is low. You have to find out, you have to find out the reason behind it, why his behavior is changed. You have to motivate him so that he can work efficiently. And you cannot do is, you cannot directly complain to the department head. First of all try these, and if you are failed to do after trying these steps, then you can go for complaining to the department head. Do not go for complaining directly. Okay, so the right answer is complain to the department head. So here with complete my video, I hope you understood what type of questions they may ask. Okay, so try to read the concepts of HRM. They may ask questions on any any concept, right from the recruitment to the retirement. So all the concepts you should know very well. You should know the laws of human resource management. So I hope you understood the pattern of MCQs, and all the best for your exam. Thank you for watching.